Welcome, wonderful people, to the Sunday rune and card reading. This week, our 3 readings are governed by 3 stunningly beautiful angels. Our first is an opalite angel, the second is a cherry quartz angel, and the third is a green aventurine angel. So in a moment, I will just speak about the additional guidance. As always, there is a handout with information for anyone who would like to be able to receive it, either in an email. I send out a weekly email, or to download it as a PDF. If you would like to join that email list, I do email out literally every week with the information from the Sunday readings. It is in the information box below. And likewise, for anyone who wishes to be in the draw for to potentially win a set of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards, there is also a link to join that email list as well. I give away a free private reading and a first edition signed and numbered pack of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards every month. But wonderful people, let's remove those and tune in to the energy of our angels. So first of all, our opalite angel. Opalite is, I mean, you can see yourself, it radiates, it captures light, it radiates, and sort of, for me, it sums up power and energy. And just sitting in my hand, I can really feel that radiance. It is said to improve communication skills. It includes our ability to communicate fluently, also with ourselves. So if you are feeling that you're struggling to listen to your intuition, or that you feel in any way disconnected or fragmented from yourself, opalite is an amazing energy to carry. Opalite aligns our chakras, our meridians. It supports us it kind of gives us persistence and the strength to not only to sort of move through things, but to move through things literally with this level of verbal communication. It's like we can become responsive to ourselves, to others, to our environment, and make very conscious choices and communicate fluently about those choices. So that is the energy that's going to be governing reading number 1. Reading number 2. Beautiful, beautiful energy of cherry quartz. This is wonderful. Cherry quartz is said to basically boost our overall energy. It increases energy and it brings a shift in our fortune. It releases us from any kind of stuck situation. If we're feeling stagnant or stuck or blocked, it helps us to move forwards and it betters any situation. It radiates energy. Actually, it's very buoyant. It's very cheerful. Is what I want to say. It's very positive, and it tends to bring about renewed optimism. So, if you're feeling stuck in any way, then reading number 2 may well resonate with you. I've always thought that this cherry quartz angel particularly resonates with the rune of movement, Awaz, and which is always about the bettering of any situation, increasing our energy, gathering momentum, and bringing about new layers, new layers of positivity. So gorgeous, but very different energies. Reading number 3, we are going to be governed by green aventurine. Do you know, I can just feel this already as soon as I pick up this angel. Green aventurine is it's almost the it's one of the greatest nurturers. It literally radiates warmth, it radiates comfort. It's said to bring good luck. Very different to the energy of cherry quartzite. Cherry quartz literally kind of brings a shift in our fortune for the positive. But green aventurine brings luck, and that's a very different quality of shift and change. The two together are a pretty powerful combination to carry, actually. Whenever I pick up or work with green aventurine, I mean, I literally feel like I'm in a bubble. It's like someone has placed a blanket around my shoulders. My troubles seem to fall away. I can see my situation clearly. It is said to create a very, very strong connection with the divine. And it's also said to help to kind of heal emotional wounds, particularly if there's anything kind of almost stuck, any residue of emotional wounds left in our physical body. It is also said to bring in new love in later life. So yeah, a lot of powerful energy coming from these beautiful, beautiful angels. So having spoken about these wonderful people, I will now draw cards and runes some of you will, if you don't necessarily want to tune in to you know, the drawing of the cards, you might already know which reading you're attracted to, in which case the timestamps are in the information box below and you can fast forward to whichever reading is speaking to you. So let's move our angels up here, make a little bit of space, make a little bit of room, move our beautiful little candle, our light, and we will draw from one of the tarot packs first. Okay. So that is our first tarot cards from the Aleister Crowley Mirror of the Soul pack. We are going to draw from the Moonology cards as well. I'm just being called to cut these. We will do so. We're also going to draw from the Keepers of the Light pack. I think this is the first time I may have used this pack of cards actually in the Sunday readings. And now lastly but not leastly, before we draw our runes, we'll draw from the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. Actually, I'm hearing just one. And now our wonderful, wonderful runes. See where we can place these. I think I might just shift that down a tiny bit. We'll draw 3 today. And there we are, wonderful people. So this is the time when we tune into our intuition. We see which of the readings we are drawn to. Sometimes it's more than one. As I said earlier, the timestamps are in the information box below. So tune in with them, check in with them, see which reading is speaking to you. And yeah, wonderful people. I will see you in the readings. So much love to you. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 1, governed by this stunning angel, this opalite angel. So let's have a look at our runes first. So we have the rune of breakthrough. This is very powerful. This is speaking of change, of transformation, sometimes a radical turnaround. It's like a light bulb moment. It's like a shift, but it's like an evolutionary shift. So it's a pretty major, it acknowledges a pretty major period of shift, of transition. Sometimes it suggests that we are needing to change course or change direction. It can sometimes also just be the emergence of us within, and now we have flow, the rune of flow. It can mean the emergence of us into almost like another layer of who we are, particularly from a spiritual perspective. We have the rune of flow and we have the rune of the self. The self is also speaks about willingness to change. Everything starts, I mean, it's very cliche, isn't it? Change starts with us, but it does. Everything here is suggesting in this rune that you have and are reaching a point, a major turning point in your life, and it is very much in tune with your soul's pathway. Something is emerging, unfolding. I have to say, energetically, something feels very powerfully as if it is, I want to say, moving into a space of fruition. Now, we haven't looked at the cards yet. I'm just sitting with the energy and what I'm kind of hearing. There's something about this, the life force, the vitality that comes through opalite. I mean, it just gathers light, as you will no doubt see if we sort of shift it around. I don't know if you can see that. If I hold it up to you more to the camera, but you can see the way it captures light. And for me, this really radiates. It's like renewed vitality is what I'm hearing. So your first card is actually problems, which is really interesting, but this card asks you to view any problems as an opportunity rather than a crisis. Whenever we identify a problem, our very recognition and acknowledgement of this difficulty creates an opportunity to seek a potential solution. As long as a problem remains unseen or indeed denied, the doorway to a potential solution remains closed. I think things are being revealed to you. You know, I know it's there's something very powerful about, again, the level of communication that comes through opalite in terms of transparency, authenticity. The next card we have, Serapis Bay, Ascension. Move into your true self, rise above the darkness. The light is here. That's very, very powerful. We then have you are good enough. I want to say, I feel like there is an energy around it. It's really curious because I feel a bit like I am sitting in, I could say a bubble of light, but it's not a bubble of light. It's like a shaft of light. It feels like a very powerful connection to the divine, something being illuminated. Now, I think I'm going to say what I feel is coming through here, is that someone around you has left you feeling as though you're not good enough. And in a way, you're being called to rise above that, to tune into the light, to tune into the divine, to see the way through this. Let's have a look and see what our tarot are showing. Okay, so we have the card of adjustment, we have the Ace of Discs, and we have the card of wealth. Just working out where to place our cards. I'm going to sit problems just here as an underlying energy here, because adjustment is needed here. You need to weigh something up and you need to evaluate, and if necessary you need to course correct. Curiously enough, I think you are on track. This is what's really quite curious. I'm seeing this wonderful shaft of light. It's really powerful coming through. I think you're on track. I think someone or a circumstance around you, I won't say it's knocked you off balance, but it's, I want to say, just knocked the wind out of your sails. It hasn't really knocked you off balance as such, but it has slightly pulled the rug out from under your feet. It's left you questioning something. It's left you ultimately questioning yourself. Several messages coming through. The first is, do not take responsibility for something you are not responsible for. Be responsible for yourself. Know that the changes within your life come from you. Likewise, the changes in other people's lives come from them. This is a time for you to, I want to say, immerse yourselves in the transition of living as I think you are going through a major period of breakthrough. The problems around you are actually creating a pathway for you to do something differently. I really want to say, I'm hearing it so strongly, don't carry something that is not your responsibility. Someone or a circumstance is trying to slightly overload you or put something on your plate that isn't yours to carry. This is not the time to carry that. This is not for you to do that. You are good enough. lovely full moon in Virgo energy. You are absolutely good enough. Take responsibility for yourself and no others. This is a time to walk, I want to say, a simple and a humble pathway. Be present. Don't lose sight of your goals. Again, wealth, you are being asked to recognize what matters to you. And this is about moving into your true self, holding your values. The Ace of Discs, there is energy for such a profound new beginning in the, I want to say, in the immediacy of your circumstances. So it's like your home environment, your work environment. This is not about you having an influence in the bigger world. It's you having an influence over you that creates literally an abundance of energy, of source energy, of vitality coming through. You may have to have, I think there may be the potential for some clear communications if you are able to carry opalite or just tune into the reading and connect in with the energy of it. We don't always have to have these things in order to engage in those kind of communications, but I have to say, I think for me opalite really helps me to hold on to my entitlement to have a voice. This reading is very much about it's something that's going on around you. It's very, very present for you right now. Obviously these are weekly readings, but this is a very here and now reading. It's saying something is going on the periphery, but there is this light around you. You are stepping up into some aspect of your true self that you have, I think you've dimmed yourself down. That's what I also want to say. And actually in recent times, very recent times, really right here and right now, somebody has actually attempted to dim you down, or they've said things that have dimmed you down. It's time to step and move beyond that. You are coming into your own. This is very focused on the self in a really profoundly powerful and positive way. As I said, there's this wonderful shaft of light coming through. This is time for you to literally step onto a new pathway of abundance, and by abundance I literally do mean in terms of your energy, your capacity to hold your own. The card of wealth, aside from, you know, the 10 of discs, tends to suggest the completion of something, something coming to its space of fruition. Sometimes it can literally mean the ending of something and therefore an opening for the beginning of something new. But in this pack particularly, to have the Ace of Discs and then the 10 of Discs, we are speaking about literally opening up. It's like opening up an avenue for you to know what really matters to you, and for a pathway to be opened for you to literally walk into that, literally to ascend up into it, move into your true self, rise above the darkness. The light is here. Light is around you. Whatever these problems are, what I'm seeing is, to some extent, I think they're being instigated by someone or some circumstances, and even on the basis of the law of attraction, this is happening because it's causing you to be able to step up and move beyond. Wonderful people, I'm not going to say any more than this. So much love to you, big respect, because this feels very much like a reading that's so attuned to the pathway of the spiritual warrior. Just remember, you are good enough. Just make those adjustments, weigh things up. You know, the energy of light is really surrounding you very powerfully. Wonderful people, don't forget, if you want to get notifications of any of my readings, and indeed if you haven't yet checked them out, I've just a few days ago uploaded a reading for every sign for the new moon, along with a new moon setting intention ceremony. I'll put a link on at the end of these readings actually. But wonderful people, so much love to you. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 2, governed by the energy of this stunning cherry quartz angel, bringing a shift for us in our fortune, raising positivity, releasing us from any negativity and negative patterns. We have the rune of wholeness. This is the path you must follow. We have the rune of constraint. So I want to say maybe you're needing to attend to some details before emerging in some way. And we have the rune of fertility. Magnificent. The rune of fertility, again, it requires completion of beginnings in some way. Fruit-bearing rune. What this is suggesting is you're on the right track. Your pathway is right, where you are is right, but you're needing to attend to some details in some way. Something needs to be sorted out. So if it's not moving forwards as fast as you would like, or you are experiencing a degree of frustration, literally, you know, when fishermen can't go to sea, they mend their nets. Complete something in order to create a new window of opportunity. But you are on track. There is a reassurance here. Let's see what our cards are showing. New love, very lovely energy. We have Bridget, inner strength. Move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. It's interesting when we have this rune of wholeness and you are being called to move back to wholeness. You have the power. There's something going on that's causing you to have either a wobble or to feel uncertain about something. Communication is key. Okay, so new love is around you. The energy of new love is around you. Fertility is around you. Now, for some of you, I think you're being called to get into communication with yourself. It may be that new love has raised an insecurity, or if the energy of new love is around you, but it hasn't yet emerged, you may be starting to have a little bit of a niggle of self-doubt. We start with the card of interference. So there's something blocking, something is in the way. Very, very interesting, because actually, the energy of cherry quartz it helps us to move from any form of stagnant or stuck situation, to move forwards, to better any situation. It's buoyant, it's positive, it's flowing. So something is stuck. There is some form of interference around you. Now, for some of you, it's an internal pattern of thinking or an expectation that's around something hasn't moved forwards as quickly as you would like, or someone hasn't shown up, or there's something around you that's blocking, whatever that will be for you. And it is around love. It's around your connection, indeed your connection to yourself. Recognize you have the power. Step into wholeness. You are on track. Your dreams, your desires, your wishes are worthy. I think you will find renewed optimism, but something is in the way. As I said, I think for some of you, and in fact predominantly, I'm not really seeing an external situation in the way. It's something internal. It goes back perhaps to a past situation. You know, sometimes this card says the energy of new love is around you. Sometimes if we've been hurt within relationship, we retreat, afraid of being hurt again. This card brings a clear message and is an indication of your readiness to embrace love and begin a new relationship. It is safe to reach out. There is something about you guys removing some kind of a block from within, some perspective. It's like literally stepping back into your power, empowering yourselves. Your desires are on track. Indeed, this is the path you must follow. Luxury would suggest an opening up of this situation, moving into a position of flow, but you simply do need to attend to something here in order to create that space of fertility, of new beginnings, and communication is the key. Now, for some of you, I am being shown there is a new relationship. You've started a new relationship, or a relationship is moving into a new phase, and there is a need for communication because there's a bit of a wobble or a misunderstanding around you. But for some of you, it's literally at the very beginning of this space of possibility. There's fear around, there's concern, there's anxiety. What if it won't work out? Will this ever happen to me? Step into your power, this reading is saying. Attend to those details within. Stop blocking yourself and allow yourself to receive. The work to be done to shift the energy of constraint is that inner work. And yeah, in that instance, the communication is not with anyone else. It's actually with yourself. So for some of you, it's outside with someone else. For some of you, it's with yourself. And actually as well, I'm going to say, if you really, really are massively blocked due to an incredibly abusive or toxic situation in a previous relationship, that doesn't define who you are. It says everything about the other person. It does not define you. You may need, for some of you, to actually speak to someone, to speak to a counsellor, to do something about this, because it's time for you to free yourself up. The energy and the timing is right for you to step into your inner strength, move beyond the constraints of the past, and step into a space of fertility. Fertilize the ground for your own deliverance. Wonderful people. Re-find that optimism, re-find that hope. The energy is around for you to do that. Wonderful people, so much love to you. If you want to get notifications of any readings, any of my readings, and I have posted recently new moon readings for a 2-week period connected to manifestation with a setting intentions ceremony as well. If you press subscribe and the little bell icon, you should get notifications of any of the readings as I post them. Wonderful people, so much love to you. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 3. Let's look at our runes. We have the blank rune. This is a rune of gestation. It's like a pregnant pause. It's an ending, it's a beginning. Something is about to emerge. We have the rune of journey. You could be about to, or be on the edge of travelling or embarking on something new. This rune also sometimes asks us to journey within and remove any blocks within us that might be inhibiting us from really stepping up and embracing everything that we desire. We then have, this is interesting, the rune of defense, which is a rune for me, it speaks of boundaries, needing to hold your boundaries in some way. Now, Green Aventurine it literally radiates warmth and comfort. So it brings us nurture in some way, looks after us. It literally wraps us up in really nourishing, bountiful kind of energy. So it's quite interesting because it is also said to remove energy blocks. We're travelling inwards potentially here to remove blocks to being able to receive. It does also create a kind of a boundary around us, an energetic boundary. Take your time. Slow down. If you are feeling under pressure, whether in response to a situation or the demands of another person, or from pressure that you are placing on yourself, this card asks you to slow down and take time to evaluate before reaching a conclusion, making a decision, or committing yourself. So definitely slow down. Don't be pressured into anything. We have Hilarion, divine healing. Honor your sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. You're definitely being asked to take your time here. Emotions are running high. I feel as though there is pressure around you, actually, to have to do something, to bring it forth before it's ready to be brought forth. This blank rune, this rune of this pregnant pause, this ending and this new beginning, it is a rune of gestation for me, and something is about to emerge. But you know, like a pregnancy, you can't make it happen any quicker than it needs to. There is a process it needs to go through. I feel as though there is pressure around you, either from yourself or from others. So we have the card of gain, we have the Emperor, and we have the card of victory. So this is not a situation that is going to be unresolvable or overload you. I need to say that really, really clearly. There's a lot of reassurance here. You know, the card of victory says it all. The card of gain is interesting because it can sometimes refer to situations where we're in something like a three-way relationship, a triangle of people. That's the sort of energetic dynamic, the relationship dynamic. So maybe there's pressure from a person, maybe pressure from a situation, and then that pressure is on you in some way. Gain does also ask us to spend time reflecting and thinking about what really matters to us. You know, what does gain mean to us? It also says, really interestingly enough, you cannot hurry this. Now, the images in this card, the little figures, there's little heads in these here, in these 6 discs here. They are 2 images of each of the 3 people that actually brought these cards into being. I think when they got together, they thought that they would basically kind of pull this pack of cards together in I think they set aside something like 3 months or something like that, or 6 months, whatever. It took them 5 years. You can't hurry this. And sometimes if there is a tension with other people, the tension is purposeful because it helps you to gain traction and to make sure that the details are right. So really, really, even if emotions are running high, you need to take your time here. If anyone within your setting is trying to pressure you into moving forwards, or you are pressuring you into moving forwards, this reading is suggesting that you slow it right down. Retreat, recharge, heal. Your light will support others. Honour your sensitivity. Your emotions will be telling you something here. This does feel as though, yeah, this needs to emerge. You are needing to hold your boundaries as well. You know, for me, the rune of defense speaks of boundaries. Sometimes someone's trying to push us, step over ours, or we're indeed spilling over our own. The Emperor for me is speaking of the very best qualities of fatherhood. It's those firm but kind boundaries, knowing when to stop, knowing when to move forwards, but also knowing when to say, do you know what, we'll call it a day, we'll take time out, this isn't right for us right now, time to stop. So everything here is speaking about boundaries, pressure around you, but we have this wonderful card of victory, Jupiter in Leo. Take your time, the answers will come to you, but don't allow your buttons to be pressed. If your buttons are pressed, actually, someone gave me a wonderful saying, I think I quoted this a few weeks ago, and when someone's buttons were pressed, they said, yeah, but they're your buttons. You know, even if someone presses them, you decide what you're going to do with that. They're your buttons. And I thought it was wonderful. I really enjoyed that, and I just thought, actually, that's so empowering, because it's like saying, actually, we can take the power back and we can decide what to do. If we say yes or no, it's down to us. So emotions are running high, but just take your time. You don't have to rush into this, and I think the decision will become very, very clear to you, and you know, we are promised a really good outcome here. So wonderful people. I'm going to I don't think there's anything else to say. Nurture yourselves. Retreat in the best possible way. I love the green energy of this card, tuning in with the green aventurin. Absolutely gorgeous. Take your time. Look after yourself. You will have an abundance to give in a boundaried and discerning way. So if you would like to get notification of any of my readings, don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell icon. And thank you guys so much for those of you who are already subscribed. And thank you for being a part of this amazing YouTube community. You guys are just awesome. Wonderful people. So much love to you. Namaste.